that was about 3 seconds, and the game's back up. So I have no idea what happened right there. But we are back into Everquest. I hope you guys are still here, and the game's back up. So there we go. So it was coming across on that. That was very, very weird. Very, very weird. I hope it doesn't go down again here really quick. But we're gonna play as if it's not, and we're gonna go ahead and create a pet. We're gonna kill some stuff on the top floor for now. Yeah, long time no see, right? Like, woo. Oh man, we were gone for hours, guys. Hours. I went and took a nap. I got something to eat. And we are back into Everquest, so we're gonna enjoy it. I have no idea what weird little patch that was, but it took all of like 10 seconds. So maybe next time they're doing a patch like that, they will let us know that it's not gonna be long. Not gonna be long at all. That is what Sony needs to take a note on back in the day. Sony, if you were watching, patches like that, people don't mind. Unless they go and like eat something and come back to only find out that, you know, the server's been up this whole time and they had no idea. Then maybe they might mind that. Let's see, what can I get rid of? Like, I want to have fear up while I'm on this first floor. What is he? He's blue. Okay, so we got a blue pet. I'm gonna give him a weapon because we did pick up quite a few weapons off of these guys. I'll give him something heavy. So let's go ahead and kill some of these. I still can't believe I killed that mob right here at the entrance. That was crazy. So now I know that if I come here and that big guy is up, anything other than the name, I believe there is a named that spawns over here for some quest. I have no idea what it is, but if you get that named mob up, he's probably a lot higher than what I can take on. But oh my god, a ghoul! You gotta be kidding me already right off the bat. You suck. So dooming darkness. Come on, fear. Get fear on him. Yeah, well, okay, you're just gonna resist fear then. He's gonna beat me in the face for a little while. Come on. Cover already. And he's gonna interrupt, so we're gonna take some damage. Oh wow! Yeah, nice. Okay, so you're just gonna keep resisting. Let's get Leech in there. Let's back up a little bit, see if my pet will take the hits. I might die here if this fear does not go off. We're going to run it. And it did not go off, so we're going to run that. What was that, 3-4 fears in a row? I thought the server shut down. Did it come back up into something? No, not like it was down for a few hours. Did you not realize it's been like 4 or 5 hours since I've been on now. I don't know what happened there. The shortest patch I've ever seen, but I'm glad that it's back up and I'm back in the game. Now, I may get kicked out. No, I didn't get kicked out. I was going to say maybe just Befallen was working, but I went ahead and came in and the ghoul was up. I think we could have taken him. I think that's definitely a thing. Unfortunately, he resisted 4 fears in a row. And my life just couldn't handle it, so I had to zone it. But I did have a good pet. He was blue. Seemed like he was doing fairly good. He had a weapon on him. Man, if I could have got even that 1 fear off on him, I think things would have been different. Paul of Opal, whatever it is called. Is that an item that casts fear? Because I could use some items that are clickies that would definitely come in handy. What am I about to lose? Resolution. So I'm about to lose some life. The life's going to go back up pretty high here. Let's take a look. And I'm so close to leveling. If I had killed that ghoul, that probably would have put me over the limit. They're red to me, by the way. So maybe this new ghoul is red, but he's like 1 level higher than I thought he was going to be, or what the other one was, and maybe that's why I'm having such a hard time with him. Prep probably was doing no damage. Ghouls need magic weapons to hit. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really worried about the pet. If the fear had worked, I was going to dot him up like I did last time, and last time I don't think I even had a pet up. I think he died. He's more of like a meat shield that takes some of the hits while my spells actually went off on him. And I was pretty good mana. I think it was about 70-something when I started that fight, and that's because I had just summoned a pet right before I went in, which I think I'm going to go ahead and do again when I finally get in there. I can't use that command right now. Am I getting booted out? I might get booted out here, guys. So it might have been short-lived. That patch might have been longer than we thought it was going to be. I can't move. I can't do anything. Let's do / anybody in the zone. There's a couple people in the zone. There's a level 60 in here. There's a level 22 Ebon Wolf. There we go. So there's some people. I can't do anything else. No standing. Can I close? I can close my inventory. I can't open it back up. Yeah, I don't like where this is going. This might be another boot out. If it does boot me out, I am going to give it another shot and see if I can get back in. 53 mage here. Work takes up too much time. Hard to solo as well. Got any up-and-coming alts besides Necro? I got a lot of alts. Pretty much every level that you can possibly imagine. My main is a 59 cleric, and you guys are always welcome to come out and join us on that guy. I have my kind of next favorite, which is my warrior. He's level 40, and I absolutely love that guy. That guy he's tweaked out too. He has KO gear on. He's only level 40. I actually got it at like level 30 something, which is pretty epic. He also has a few other things that make him pretty nice. His weapons are really, really good. I got my 46 monk, which could group with your 53 mage and maybe do some stuff. I'm trying to think of somebody who actually works with the mage rather well, like a healer. The 59 cleric would be perfect. I don't have a druid yet. I have a level 20 shaman. That's not going to work for you. That's pretty much it at that level range. Yeah, I got other tunes that are lower level, obviously. My paladin, who's level 16, 17. My shadow knight is 23, 24. I'm trying to think of all my alts. I got a level 20-something now rogue that I was working on last night. Just kind of chilling over in High Keep, doing some damage and playing some music. 80s Day for Father's Day, actually. So I still can't move. Still can't. Oh, but I can move. I can move, but I can't sit down. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and risk it by zoning and see what happens here. We may end up getting booted out, or it may just freeze on the zone end. But I actually couldn't stand up or sit back down, so our magic did go up, so we do have full magic. This could be very, very nasty, because if I do get booted out here, that ghoul seems to... Yeah, there we go, we got booted out. That ghoul seems to rotate and come back and forth from the entrance to further in. And so when I load in next time, I might be dead. Okay. Let's see, can I get back in? I can't even type on it. Alright, let's close it down all the way, because apparently it has freaked out on me. And see if we can come back in. This may be the end of it right here, actually, if they're doing that patch. Let's give it one more shot. It looks like it's letting me load in. 161 players on the server, so not everybody got booed out. Come on, wish me luck, guys. Wish me luck. If I load in and I see my necromancer is butt naked, that's going to suck, because I am bound all the way over in Oasis. Now, I play my characters the old-fashioned way. I have all of them on the same account. I have 2 different accounts because I have too many characters, but West Commonlands. So it didn't zone them then. But yeah, I have all my characters on the same account, so I can't res my own guys. Plus, you know, you can only do that if you actually have 2 people playing. But I could res my warrior if I had another person here to play, but it's just me. Okay, so we are in. We're going to go ahead and zone. Apparently, my life is rather low, and my mana is low, so I'm zoning in at where my life was when I zoned out. My guild might have kicked me. I haven't been on in months. If you're looking for a good guild, Octa, I would suggest Kittens Who Say Meow. They are absolutely, by far, one of the nicest and just, best guilds out there that I've ever seen. They do a lot of stuff together as well, so yeah, give them a chance. We still have resolution as well. Jeez, they do some raiding. I wish I could say that I raid with them or group with them a lot. I don't. I have one character in their guild, which is Sir Blastalive. He's my wizard. I don't play my wizard very much, so I don't get to group with him. But I wish I did. I wish I had more time and I played that character a little bit more. So I may end up actually pulling him out of the guild and putting one of my other alts into it. Somebody that I actually do play. Because I would like to raid with them. And, they've been going to like TOV and playing a Sky and playing a Fear and playing a Hate. So a lot of really, really cool places. Let's get up another pet. I'm willing to risk the bone chip since we are here in Befallen. Let's get that going. I'll get up Fear as well, so if that guy comes back, which he is bound to come back eventually. Come on, let me cast it. If this is green, luck is not with us. Blue. I need to stop saying that, because every time I say it, that's exactly what happens. Every time I say it's going to be green. How many bone chips do I have? I have one bone chip. So, yeah, not gonna be casting another pet. But he wasn't really gonna do a lot anyways when it came to the ghoul fight. So I guess I could get away with not using them. Just leave the green pet there. I'm not gonna give him a weapon though. I may kill some skeletons up here if I can. And reclaim as much energy as I can. Oh, come on. Let's take a look around the corner. Okay, so he's not here. So we're gonna sneak inside this room. And we're gonna met up over here. Because I don't believe he walks this direction. I need more bone chips because I'm not fighting with the green guy. There we go. Actually, putrid skeleton. You are going to be my sacrificial lamb there. Let's get you on the guy that I'm not draining life off of. There we go. Now let's sit down. Alright, so it's a little slow. I do apologize. Kind of getting things going again always kind of takes a little bit of time. This pet is sucky. Taking on greens, and look at him, man. He can't even kill these things. That's the difference that it makes when you get a level 9 pet versus a level... I believe it goes up to level 12 at this level. Or with the range for this spell is level 9 to level 12. So let's get up, reclaim energy. As soon as that large skeleton is dead, that's exactly what we're doing. Nice. Nice. Okay, give me another. Now, usually when I get green pets, it tends that oh, that actually gave me experience off of one of those. Holy crap. Yeah, it usually turns out that I'll get like 3 or 4 in a row, and again, I just jinx myself without, like, why? Why did I even mention that? Blue pet. Blue pet. Yes! I'll give you a weapon. Let's get up Fear. Let's get up Dark Pact, and I will put a weapon on this sucker. With an axe. I could give him both, but I don't want to waste it. So while I am meting up, I'm going to just send him in. He's taking a lot of damage. He may not be as high as I think he is. He may just be level 10 instead of level 9. Yeah, he's taking a lot more damage than I would have liked. Well, here I thought I had a really nice pet. The first pet that I came in here with, man, he was a beast. He was amazing. Let's get some life. Okay, so we got a little bit of experience off of that one, so that's why he was taking the hits as hard as he was. These are just very, very light blue to me. That might put me over the limit, though. Look at that. Look how close I am. Okay, let's sit down. Get some more bone chips. Can't believe I'm jonesing for bone chips as much as I am. Plague rat. Yeah, you can take that on. Next room might be a few mobs. So let's hold off. What do we got here? Okay, so our leech is finally wearing off. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like the leech does anything at all if the animal that it is on dies. So it is instantly done with as soon as the creature is dead. Necro. Necro. I do not know. Those might be... They might be green, super green, or they might be right there on the line. So let's come over here and grab these guys. He's a weapon anyways. And it looks like they're not aggro to me, but they're aggro to my pet because he is just like 1 or 2 levels lower than I am. Can I sit down without him coming over here and beating me? Nope, cannot. I'm trying to get him on this guy, but it doesn't seem like he wants to attack him. There we go. If I sit down next to that guy... Oh, nice, and he poisoned me. Okay. I'm just gonna be a pain. God, my skill. Trying to do it the most efficient way possible, I swear, guys. Just not working out. Come on, man. My goal is to get about 80%, hopefully 100% if I can, but 80%, and then I'll try that ghoul again. I want to clear out that entire room over there and pull them into here. That's why I'm kind of clearing out this whole area right here. I want to pull them into here, and then when I fear him and snare him, he'll have a decent amount of space that he can walk through without going, you know, to the second floor, which is where it seemed like he might have been trying to go the first time around. But he went down to the end, turned back around, and I don't know where he would have gone from there. And I'm trying to be safe rather than pull, you know, a whole floor. Plague rat probably won't attack, but she will, so let's get them in there. Yeah, well, I'm wrong on that one too. Plague rat did attack, so he might be kind of high. He's wiping the floor with the Necro, so she is not going to give experience. Okay, so you going after next, the pet. Still has yet to hit the pet. There he goes. Yeah, he must be 10. I mean, just looking at the way he performs, he's... the level 12 pet and the level 10 pet, there's a big difference. Okay. I am about 78%, 79%. So I think we're ready. Let's see if we can find the ghoul. Maybe he roams because I did get attacked on the second floor by a ghoul, and then he was up here. So maybe he starts up here and then heads downstairs and then comes back. Yeah, that's probably what he does. So we're gonna wait here, see if he comes back up anytime soon. You ran bad if you that would be very, very nice if you're in the area, man. But definitely don't worry about it otherwise. Like I said, I'm trying to work on my skill to make sure I'm up to par. So like the trials and errors that I do definitely I think are gonna help me out in the future. Or at least that's what I'm hoping. I have no idea. For all I know, like none of these techniques are what I'll be using on a camp. It's hard to know because I never did high level soloing, so. I take it back. I did a little bit of high-level soloing at the entrance to Lower Guck with my monk, but I don't really consider my monk a solo class because he does it so well. Like, it doesn't take any skill. You walk up to a mob, you beat on it, your life gets low, you either feint it off or you hit mend. Like, it's super easy to solo with a monk. And his feint death just makes trying areas out, like, just the best thing in the world. Unless you go against casters. That's the only thing I can tell you about the monk is you never want to worry about or pull a group of casters. 3 of them, almost certain death. Because they always space out their attacks. And by the time the 3rd one's going off, the 1st one's recasting. And if you have the life to take that, which is almost never, you're not going to be able to do a 2nd round. Let's come over here. Yep. Yeah, I probably should have waited then. Let's get some min bones on you. But you're gonna need a little bit of a heal. No, I don't have a fungi or a tranquil staff on my monk. It's just they kick butt. They're so easy to play. Doesn't really require a lot. So we're gonna take some damage off of my pet before he dies. See if we can heal him up. I'd love a fungi though. That'd be crazy fun. I've actually had a friend loan me his fungi while we were playing in Oasis with my ranger, and I didn't realize how hard the area actually was until I gave it back to him. And then I realized, like, holy crap, like, this is night and day difference. The fact that I was taking almost no hits whatsoever, full life, with the fungi, to the point where now I'm dying from blues. Yeah, like, that regeneration is epic. Now I see why it goes for the price that it does. Good morning. Hey, Ashrak, how you doing, man? I hope you guys had a wonderful Father's Day, by the way. Did some barbecue myself, but haven't got. I keep mentioning the barbecue. I haven't got the barbecue in a while, so I was kind of happy to sit down and do that. I want to do that one day on stream too. I want to get the barbecue grill out, put it on webcam, and just kind of sit back and do a camp, maybe with this tune, because this would be perfect, like the AC camp where there's a long spawn in between. I could be sitting there playing Everquest and then have like the barbecue in the background. Okay, we got a plague rat and a putrid skeleton with a weapon. Yes, please. Have an Ixar monk with a fungi on p99. It is basically like you described. Press flying kick and min maybe dead merbs. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's easier with that, but it wasn't too bad in Lower Guck right there at the entrance. Now I couldn't go any further with the fungi tunic. You could probably go and do like assassin and supplier room by yourself. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could break the room to begin with, because those guys hit so hard, especially if you turn your back to him. The assassin, if he's up and he stabs you in your back, that's a lot of life. Oh, come on, dude! Like, attack the skeleton because he's almost dead. I might lose my pet. I might lose my pet. Mend, mend. So the pet's not the smartest cookie out there. He got the skeleton to about 20% and then decided to switch targets to the rat, and then got the rat to about 20% before I could switch it back. That almost killed him. So if he was a little smarter, I wouldn't have to control the pet as much. But now I can see why they cause issues in groups. Not because the caster is doing something wrong, but because the pet is stupid. And you have to micromanage your pet to make sure he doesn't do something wacky and insane that shouldn't be done. So, yeah, I got a little bit more... Ah, there we go. We got somebody here. Yeah, I got a little bit more respect for people who play pet classes. Because, yeah, it's not easy. Let's get my pet over here. I think we're going to take on this lord here in a second. Let's met up. Okay, pet is close to full. I think that's going to be good. He's only dark blue. I'm kind of curious as to whether we get that other green one over there, but we'll see. Let's get heat blood on this guy. Burn him down pretty quick. I know this guy's pretty tough. He's not the toughest mob I've ever fought, but I can't fear him here, so we're going to be taking the damage. I'd rather get it over with. Double laugh right there. Like both the enemy is a skeleton and my pet is a skeleton, and both of them decided to cackle at the exact same time. Don't get to see that too often. Aha! Level 15, guys. Level 15. Yeah. One more level. One more level. I don't think I'm going to get anything off of those guys, but we'll send my pet in. Bone chips. Always wanted. Yeah, level 15. One more level. One more level. I get my Fane. I get my my new pet, which is going to be fun. I want a new pet. There you go. Start attacking that guy. We'll sit down and wait. Oh, thank you. I do appreciate it. I wish I had some malachite to give you. Got some bloodstone. I think maybe mages use that at some level. I might be wrong. I have no idea what mages use. But if you use that, let me know. I got one on me. Putrid skeleton. Let's siphon some life. You don't have a... Actually, I do have a donation alert. Did it not go off? There's been something wrong with my event list. Does that show up over there? Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Glenn. That is incredibly nice. I don't get very many donations, to be honest, and that blows my mind. Thank you so much. Let's see. Did it show up on the event list? Because I don't think it did. There's something wrong with that stupid program. But a big shout out. Big shout out. Holy crap. You blow my mind. The fact that you guys like the videos that much. Yeah, I don't know what to say to that other than, you know, just it's fantastic. It's a privilege to be able to do these videos for you, to be yeah, I'm speechless. So absolutely, thank you. But I'll see about getting that thing fixed. Like I said, I don't really get them too often. Let's get some mana up here. Get my pet going. Actually, the pet's doing just fine. Why did he switch targets? Why does he get it down to 18% and then switch targets? What is his deal? Kill the rat. Yeah, I wish I could say I'm more professional, but because I never really watched too many streams, and oh man, now you're making me You making me gotta go on there and figure all that stuff out because I look so bad otherwise. So I'll be doing that later tonight. What is he attacking? Putrid. Okay, so he's attacking the Putrid. Let's get in there. Let's take some hits. Let's kill off this guy. We're gonna take some leech. I do have Steam Labs, actually. I do have Steam Labs, and it used to work. It actually worked beautifully about 6 months ago, and I actually had it where the chat from the conversation over here on the right would show up on the video, so people wouldn't have to be like in not full screen mode. They could just watch it on full screen and see the chat on the top, and I could get a little alerts, and I actually had little guys that would pop up there when people made a follow and like all that stuff. Then they did an update. They did an update, and all of it stopped working. Every single thing on there stopped working for me. And I went on there, and it still says it works. Like, everything, when I do the test, shows that it's still a thing, but it doesn't actually show up on the video. I don't stream, but I have done it. Yeah, I think I need to uninstall Streamlabs, or maybe get an updated version of OBS, because I'm using kind of an older version of it, and that might fix it. But it was beautiful when it was working. It's actually a friend of mine, Richard Heat, who does streams here on Everquest as well. He was the one who kind of showed me the ropes on twitching and some of the programs that you use. MoveBot to kind of organize the channel, and Streamlabs to get the text on the screen. There's one other one out there that he showed me, but I never really had any reason to use it. It did weird stuff, like maybe more advanced stuff that some of the other streamers out there might use, but yeah, like it was a good program while it lasted. We got some people over here. 52 Element. I don't know what the other guy is. He's anonymous right now. You guys in your anonymous stuff. Okay, so it doesn't look like the ghoul is coming back. So I think we're gonna head downstairs. I think we got a few bone chips to our name. There's my key. I'll put the key in the last bag so I can find it. I got levitate too, so this should be kind of cool. Ah, and there's another weapon. Wow, look at that! My pet has 2 weapons. I wonder if that is from the mage, who might have been able to summon it. He does look like he may be attacking a little faster too. She might have given him a harness, because I hear that's a thing. But we'll see. We'll see if they say anything, because I'm kind of curious. I need to get some life. I didn't even realize my life is going down so low. Let's get leech up. Alright, let's close this stuff down. I don't think I need to keep it up. This guy might give me experience. He seems like he's a little tougher. Nope. No experience off of that guy. That sucks. You didn't let me DS, so I gave Pet. Well, thank you right there, Octo. That's really nice of you. He looks pretty beefy, though. Look at that. Look at that. 2 weapons. That's cool looking. It's a shame you don't have... well, maybe not a shame, because I know they did kind of integrate that into live so that you could see what your pet was using and kind of check out their equipment. I guess if you have a pet, you probably know what you gave them. But... that's kind of cool looking. I like the way he looks. And I know there's supposed to be like a Spectre pet at level 60 that Necros sometimes can get their hands on. I hear it's pretty rough. It's a quest or a drop or something. It's just not something that a lot of people do. But I have seen them out in raids, and they look pretty sweet. It's not the Velius Spectre pets. It's the old classic Spectre pet. Although I kind of like the Velius one where it has like the fur around the outside. Although I don't know why they need it. They're dead. They're a Spectre. I mean, they're not like they're freezing or something, but it's still kind of it's kind of cool. Oh, he had a belt on him. So if I hadn't had a belt yet already, that would have been good. Putrid skeleton. Now we're gonna leave that guy alone. This room, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious with than I was last time. We're going to see if we can law it. Let's go into... numb the dead. There we go. So I'm going to try to numb the dead. Huh. That's not going to work, is it? Because the Necros aren't dead, and there's 3 of them. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to straight up fight this. Actually, I'm going to try it on the Necro pet. I'm going to try it on one of the Necro pets. Maybe he won't add? Actually, let's try it on a couple of them. Let's try it on all of them. Doesn't really use that much mana. Okay, let's go with this guy. Do poison bolt. Okay, so I was able to pull them out, but I think I'm a high enough level to not get aggro on those guys. I don't think my pet is. So if I had set my pet in there willy-nilly, I think all those would have aggroed onto me. Yeah, I don't know what you do in a situation like this. Maybe Mez? Maybe lull the pet, Mez the Necro, and then pull one of the other ones. And I don't know if you get anything like the enchanters get at higher level, where you could make them forget about you. You could mim wipe them, because that would really come in handy. Okay, so if I can pull this guy and the other guy doesn't come, then we have proven I'm high enough level for it to not to be a thing. Yeah, there we go. So it's just my level range. Emissary of Thule, real jealous. What do you mean by the Emissary of Thule? Is that something you're hoping to get, or? Oh, you're talking about the Necro pet, probably. Epic spell name when you think about it. Okay, so my life is still pretty low, so I think we're gonna siphon some life off of this guy. Little dwarf really likes me, so let's go ahead and attack him. And in fact, I'm gonna draw even more life off of him. No, we're not. We're gonna wait. Oh, bronze dagger! Wow. Okay, so it's not too bad on the money down here either. If we can get some of those bronze daggers, especially at this level. Okay, so we got a dread, we got a zombie. They're green, but we're going to give it a shot anyways. What I'm going to do, because I know I could probably pull both of those without getting it, is I'm going to go ahead and lull one of them, numb the dead, probably on the zombie, and then I'm going to set my pet down there to dread bones and see if it works. I mean, I'm probably going to get both by the end of the fight, but I want to see if that lull is working right now. Actually, he resisted. Okay, so at least it wasn't a critical resist. Alright, so we got him. Let's go send my pet down. So he did not come up. I was going to pull him up anyway so we don't fight him down there, but yeah, he did not come, which is nice. Okay, and let's watch this fight. Emissary of Thule is the Spectre pet, a representative of Kazakh Thule sent to do your bidding, badass. Is he really good though, like the damage wise? Because I know with the epic pet for the mage, Chupa is a friend of ours that he's been playing his mage forever, and he's been trying to get his epic for probably about 1.5 years now on here on the server, and he only needs one more piece, the piece from Plane of Hate. He's talked about it, he's built it up, and I was like, yeah, it's a pet. I remember them being around. I don't remember them being all that great, but it's better than the other pets. I recently got into a group with them. So amazing. The difference between a regular pet and a epic pet by far is noticeable. It's mind-shattering about just how great that kind of pet is. I'm wondering if maybe the Necro pet is the same, or if it's maybe not quite as good as that, but still pretty good. The only one you'll use. Mage Epic is a fusion for every... Yeah, for sure. They combine all of them together. The Necro one, I think, is just a better pet in general. Right? It's not... Because I think the Necros, you get a couple different types throughout the levels. You get one that's a rogue, right? That kind of backstabs. And then you get another one that's a tank. Most of them, I think, are tanks. So I don't know what the Spectre is. I think he's probably just a tank too, right? Let's wait for the pet to go back up to full life, and we'll go a little deeper. We did get experience off of that, though, so... These guys are green, but just right on the line of being green. Let's go ahead and siphon some life. I'll send my pet in. Ah, nice job right there. Look at that. Pet stopped him cold in his tracks. We're going to sit down for a second. Watch the life. I don't think we need to use a dot, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyways because I don't want him to get 51%. So with 2 dots, we should be good. More of a concern when we start actually fighting blues, but let's see how much experience we're getting off of these. Come on, dots. Yeah. Like, almost not even noticeable. That blue, it moved, but it must have been, like, either 1% or 0.5%. You're the Necro. I don't know. Yeah, I'm the Necro. I am a Necro, but I'm a newly minted Necro with very, very, very little knowledge about what Necros use. Okay, Dreadbone. I'm hoping he's the only one. He was the only one last time that was down there, so let's go ahead and... I'm going to pull with Leech again, because it seemed like it was a good enough spell to pull with, but it didn't immediately get aggro. The pet was able to kind of pull it off of me fairly quickly, and then if I wait a second or two and then cast Bolt, he still kept the aggro, so like, that's kind of a healthy way to do it. And that way I remain full life the whole time, no matter what. 53 is Rogue, 56 is Monk, and all others are Warriors. Okay. Did you like it, though, when you played Visionary, or Vision? Did you like the Warrior more than the Monk or the Rogue? I imagine the Monk was probably pretty epic there for a while. 56 Monk at your side, like the DPS that guy brings. You might actually decide to use that guy at 60, just because Warriors are fantastic tanks, but they do not bring the DPS. I mean, I realize you're a Necro, and, you know, you can bring your own DPS, but I wouldn't turn down a Monk pet. He's never been this far into Befall. This is the mage that's with me. You're actually pretty safe. This zone is not too tough, and it's not really that large, but it is kind of intimidating. There's some see-through walls that you can walk through on the 3rd floor. Not too much on the 2nd floor, but I don't know if we could really get too far in with this guy. We're getting a little bit higher level, so we might be able to push. We'll definitely challenge ourselves as much as possible. Got a Dreadbones there, a Plague Rat over there. So let's get rid of the Dreadbone. Go ahead and let the pet get the aggro. Go with Poison Bolt. A little bit too soon. I probably should have sat down for about half a second. There we go. He's on him now. Might have to heal him up a little bit. Kind of wait and see. I've learned, I've leveled up a few Necros throughout the past years on live, but I'm only 53 on p99. Been a while since I've used any of these pets. Okay, so you're kind of learning as you go as well, which is cool. I mean, again, that's why this class really appeals to me, because I know nothing about it. Most of the other classes out there, I've either seen played really well, and I've picked their brains, or I've played them myself. But this guy, like, no idea. Like, I know the basics of their spells simply because of my Shadow Knight. They overlap a little bit, but I'm pretty sure if you at level 53 on your Necro, you probably went through every spell my Shadow Knight got at like level 12 or something along those lines. Because I'm already using Engulfing Darkness, and I believe the highest that my Shadow Knight ever got was Dooming Darkness. So that's not very far off. I looked at that on my Necro spell, and I think either the next level or the level after that, when I get my spells, I get the Dooming Darkness. And then beyond that, it's just, you know, so much better on the spells. Okay, let's send my pet in. And I think I'm only going to cast Bolt on this guy. Talk to Deathproof. He's really friendly and amazing Necro. I definitely will have to pick his brain. I'm picking everybody's brain about the Necros that I possibly can. I want to get pretty good with this guy. I want to do some crazy stuff. Okay, so this is where things might get a little dicey. The guy in front of me, the greater skeleton, is blue. The larger skeleton is green. I'm pretty sure he'll still attack. And I don't know what's behind the door. It sounds like maybe a will-o-wisp. Kind of hear it there in the distance. So I am going to try to lull the green, or the one that's green to me. And then I will pull this greater skeleton here with my leech and try to do that same. Okay, so we got two. We got two. Let's go ahead and put Heat Blood on the greater skeleton. We're going to try to burn him down as fast as possible. Large skeleton, what is he con to me? He's green, so we're going to do Heat Blood on him too. And then we're going to heal up the pet. There's a little bit more mana, but we have to break the room, and I knew that was going to be a cost of it. Nope, we don't want to leech our pet. Bulb is taking some damage. What are you doing over here, greater skeleton? Hit me instead. Wow, my pet is hitting him so hard, he's actually knocking him back into the wall. He's glitching out a little bit. Come on, you can do it. Nope, he doesn't want to pull that off of me. There you go. Whew. Wow. Alright, so definitely doable. I think that guy was either behind the door or close enough that when I pulled the mob straight in front of me, maybe he was behind that rock. Maybe he was over there behind that rock. We'll have to see next time he spawns. Actually, no. No, it was the guy I lulled, so that didn't... Okay, well, we're going to get that guy. The guy I lulled did not work, but there was another one over here, so I could have gotten 3 right there. That would have been kind of nasty. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Let's sit down for a second. Actually, let's put on our death pack. How's he doing over here? 27%? Yeah, he's good. If you get low, I'm going to destroy the zone before you die for science. Alright, man, I appreciate it. One more level and you won't have to. One more level and I'll be able to feign it off when things go bad. And I have seen Necros feign death and leave their pet up, and their pet not get attacked. So, yeah, that's going to be something interesting to play around with and see, you know, like where I can leave my pet up and what's the limitations of that kind of play style. And whether I can send my pet in while I'm feign as well. Ooh, Lesser Mummy blue. What else do we got in there? Anything we're going to have to go into F9 to see, I think. And, of course, the door shut on me, didn't it? Yep. Does not look like there's anything around that corner. So it could just be that one mob, but what we're going to do is we're going to play it safe. Let me sit down for a second. I am going to lull that mob. And, of course, I say play it safe, but with my lull not working very well these days. Or, you know, outright just getting resisted. Oh, great. And a greater skeleton. No idea what level he is yet, but I'm pretty sure he's not nice. So we're gonna dot the crap out of this Lesser Mummy. Poison bolt it as well. He's blue, so let's go ahead and start siphoning some life off the greater skeleton. Lesser Mummy's going down pretty fast. Let's burn him down. Oh my god, he's beating my face in. Come on, we can do it. 1%. That just leaves me the greater skeleton. Come on, pet. You know you want it. Get some of that aggro. There you go. It's a good pet. Let's do... What did I put on him? Did I put heat blood? I don't see anything ticking, so we're gonna do heat blood. And now we're gonna sit back down. Whew. Okay, so... God, why does my Numb the Dead suck so bad? It's gonna be a long bedtime. Let's actually... Ah, dang it. Freaking Butthead gave me rabies. That's... that rabies thing lasts for an hour, and it really eats into my regeneration. Obviously, it stops regeneration cold, but because it does, now I can't really siphon my life as easily as I was doing before. So we're in the next room. I think we're gonna chill here for a minute. I don't even want to get next to that door yet. So I'm trying to make my way over to the guy that spawns the or drops the key. Let me actually... Numb the Dead is the Lulls Undead, yeah. So that is the right one. Let's go to zones. I want to make sure I'm going the right way. I'm just checking on the wiki real quick. Dungeons, Befallen, yep. Level 1 and 2. And I'm looking for the Dark Elf Shadow Knight, who drops the Splintered Wooden Key always, and the Chip Bone Rod. Splintered Wooden Key. What was the one I have already? I think it's glass, right? Okay, so that's for the first floor. Who drops the key for the second floor? Second locked door requires the Charred Bone Key, which drops off of who? Human Female Shadow Knight, who drops a Charred Bone Key. Also Pit Trap in Area 4 on level 3. So 3 on the map. Yeah, we're going the right way. We're going the right way. We're in the room with the stairs. Yep. So we're going to go into that door right there, right in front of us. And we're going to take a left and then another left. And that's going to take us right to where we want to go. Okay, so we're at 46%. That should be a decent amount for us to kind of take a peek anyways into this next room. Yeah, nope. We're going to med up to full. I can already kind of see that. Let me get a little closer to the door so I can do F9 and med at the same time. So there is one right there to the left. You can kind of see his head just slightly when I go in there. And then there's another one over there, straight in front of me. That one is a greater skeleton who is blue. And I bet you more than anything, there's at least one more. There's a lesser mummy right there. He's green. And what I might try to do is get the green one, because I think he's going to resist a little bit less. I get the green one and go after... Just try to skate into the room and see who comes. After I lull... I want to lull him too. I want to lull the greater skeleton. And see if there's anybody else in there. But just in case they all come, I want to make sure I have full mana. Otherwise, that is going to be a death. I can burn them down pretty good, but... Let's get Dark Pact up. I need mana more than I need life. Get that life back pretty quick. I see, it's going down. Now, I have heard the best class, or best race for this class is a lizard. Obviously, you're hated by everybody, but so are Dark Elves, pretty much. I mean, ogres and trolls might like you a little bit, but I went with a Dark Elf because I like the way they look, and I like the starting area. The starting area is beautiful. The creepy forest that kind of starts in. Plenty of bone chips to get in that forest. Then again, if you start as a lizard, there's plenty of bone chips out there in the field of bones for you. So, you know, not too much of a variance either way. Also, if you start in Field of Bones, it's really, really far away. So if you want to group with your friends, that's probably not going to be very easy for you to make that trip. Or even to get somebody over there to, teleport you out is not an easy thing to do. But I think in the end, because I'm playing them solo like that, none of those things really made too big of a difference. I just like the way the Dark Elves look. I think they have a kind of the best armor illusions in the game. But as a caster, a lot of their caster stuff kind of takes on the same look no matter what race you are. So we're at 83%, 85%. Our life is at 72. So one of the first things I'm going to do off of one of the mobs is leech some life. XR Necro equals Curran's. Yeah, Curran's Tower is amazing. I went there on my Lizard Monk, and I had a field day. That zone is absolutely bonkers. It's crazy amount of mobs in there. A lot of them don't aggro or social aggro. And you get a ton of bone chips, which then you can sell for like 10 platinum a stack when you finally do get over to the commons, and that helps you buy a few weapons for your monk and maybe get a little pieces of armor here and there. So a great starting area for monks. One of the best Zims in the game. Yeah, all the bone chips you can loot. I liked it a lot. There was a few groups over there too, but you have so many monks that start there. Most people tend to stay to themselves. Okay, here we go, guys. Here we go. Should I put that? Yeah, I'm going to put that back on. I'm going to put Dark Pack back on. And, man, hope this does not get resisted. So that one looked like it worked. There's no guarantee, but it looked like it worked. Let's get the other one real quick. That one looked like it worked too. So let's come in here and test the waters. There's another one right there. So let me see if I can pull them instead. Come on, bet. Back off, back off, back off, back off, back off. There we go. Now you can get on them all you want. And she dotted me up. She dotted me up with Clinging Darkness, so I am slowed. What is she con to me? She's green, but she's doing some damage. So let's get a little bit more life off of her. Wow, you're right. The life draw, it's enormous on the mana drain, but it doesn't really give you very much life in return. Come on, die already. And she got me one last time with a dot. That's the pet. We're gonna get some life out of this pet. 10% for every one of those. So I don't know if I needed to take that mob on in that order, but I went ahead and did it anyways just for security reasons. It's the only one I couldn't see behind. And I guess if I was playing a gnome, which we have, the ability to do, if we so chose to go that route, we might be able to crouch and look through the wall and be able to see the creatures that way, and that could have given us a leg up on the mob, but we went Dark Elf instead. So yeah, let's take a look. We're gonna try to take on another one of these, get some mana back a little faster. Let's go with Numb the Dead again. We're gonna numb the dead on the Greater Skeleton. And we're gonna pull the green. Oh my god, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, this is probably not gonna work. Okay, so I'm gonna die here. There's no way. He bled the crap out of this lesser mummy. I can already see my pet going down. And I'm gonna be out of mana. Yep, I'm out of mana. Let's do Poison Bolt. Get it fully dotted up. Turn my melee on and hope those dots go to work. I do have leech on them, so I am getting some life out of them. My pet's almost dead, so I'm gonna have, yeah, this is gonna turn ugly. 7%, come on, you can do it. Yeah, dang it. Thank you so much. Oh, she saved me. She saved my life. Oh, man. I didn't see those guys around the corner. I had no idea they were there. I thought it was just going to be one, and I rushed it again. Again, no matter how many times I tell myself not to do it, I end up rushing it. Dang it. That was a good pet, too. He was loyal. So let's get another pet out here. We're going to have to met up. Dang it, man. Kicking myself. I'm going to kick myself for a long time on that one. We'll move into the room as soon as we can, because I think most of it is clear, and I don't want this area to respawn on top of us. Go pet for the tank sooner. You had 60% HP. Yeah, there was 2 of them in there, and I wasn't sure if my dots were really going to survive or kill that one mob that I was even on, let alone the 2 ads. But you're right. If I had moved in, I could have taken the damage for the pet, and he could have done some damage to the creatures. And overall, that probably would have survived. But I panicked a little bit, you know, like you know, you got to take a step back, like Super Bits and Bob does when he's doing his enchanter. Take a step back and just look at the situation and get things under control without just like worrying about the fact that you're gonna die. If you die, you die. But like you do everything you possibly can before that happens. So, I need to take a page out of his book and kind of do that. Wish me luck on a good pet. Oh, come on. He's a green. We're going to get rid of him. Reclaim energy. How many bone ships do I actually have now? So I actually don't have an enormous amount of bone ships, but I got enough to kind of play around with a little bit. There we go. So he's blue. We're going to keep that little guy. So let me get my mana a little bit higher. I want at least 30% before we move in there. Again, might be pushing it, but I know this room is going to respawn here pretty soon. And since we're working our way through the zone, I don't want to die halfway through. Let's get Dark Pact back up. Yeah, let's look at the room in here. So we got the Greater Skeleton over there who's blue. Let me sit down. I do like how the door closes. It constantly causes you problems. The timing on it is absolutely 100% perfect. They couldn't have designed it better unless, you know, they were doing that on purpose. But what it is it stays open long enough that it's not really an issue most of the time. But if you go in and you pull, I don't know how many times I've seen it on like monks or warriors or pretty much anybody. It closes right as you get back to it. So it's open just long enough for you to look around and pull something, but then close on you and cost you that, you know, millisecond or so before you click on and open it again, so that you get attacked a couple times. And sometimes that's a backstab that can really just own your butt. Okay, so we're gonna move in here. Ooh, there's somebody died over here, huh? Sinnoh Man, and he wasn't able to get his corpse back. I do not blame him. That is a tough spot to die in. Let's see. The corpse resurrection timer will expire in 3 hours. So, yeah, he must have tried to get his body back a couple of times. Let's see if he's on. We might be able to at least drag it to the entrance or somewhere close by. No, he's not on right now. Okay, so 40%. Wait, are you summoning a skeleton pit? That's kind of cool. I didn't know you guys got the ability to do that. Wow, look at that. Oh, I think it's the illusion, right? You're able to summon a pet that looks like something nearby. That's kind of cool. It's going to scare the crap out of me, though, when I click on that and see that there's a Redcon pet. Okay, let's go with Leech. Please only be one. There we go. So one pet, one mob. Let's sit down for a second. You did not like that. Let's move over. Let's go with Poison Bolt. Oh, and thank you for giving him weapons again. Jeez, that is epic. I definitely will have to seek the assistance of a mage from time to time and have them summon me some of those weapons for a little donation. I can see a difference. I can see a difference between how they hit. How you doing? You gonna be able to get that last 20%? Yeah, you are, but you need to sit down. Okay, so we're gonna met up right here. I think this room is safe for a little bit. I want to get actually before I do, I want to be able to look down the hallway so I can kind of see what's over there without getting too close to anything. Okay, so there is a greater skeleton, a lesser mummy. Let's get Numb the Dead back up. There's a greater skeleton and a lesser mummy down there. Both of them are blue to me. Okay, so I wasn't even looking at the chat. Lesser mummy says it looks quite risky, but might be worth a try. And the skeleton looks kind of dangerous. So the mummy is a little bit higher in level. Use a torch from a vendor. It gives them a dual wield if they can quad a quads. So if I give them a two-hander and I give them a torch, they're going to be able to dual wield with a two-hander? Is that how that works, or it only does it with a one-hander? But if I have a torch, I can save on, like, I guess, money. Instead of giving them, fine steel weapons twice, I can only give them one. If that made any sense. I don't know if it did. Man, I think we can get the greater skeleton, but the lesser mummy, that's going to be tough. Okay, it somehow enables them to dual wield instead of giving them weapons. Okay, I have to look into that and see how that actually works and what's the best combo of weapons to have. Because you guys did mention there was a rogue, there was a monk, and I'm guessing with the monk, you probably don't want to give them weapons at all, right? I mean, I could be wrong. Most of the time with monks, you will see them using a weapon, but I doubt you're going to give them a weapon like that to use on a pet. And when it comes to monks, unless you have a really good weapon, a lot of the time, your fists are even better. So that might incorporate over into their pets. Again, I have no clue, but it's something to kind of play around with and see. I'm going to wait to full mana because I'm thinking there might be something else down that hall besides those two guys. That's going to be... I can already imagine the nightmare scenario of that coming in there. Let me get a little closer. I think I have enough mana so that if that greater skeleton attacks, we should be good. Am I stuck? Yeah. Let's go into F9. That's pretty much all I can see. Get the greater skeleton, that's it. So that's not a great view. I might be able to see more if I get onto that other corner, which I guess we can do. I got a pretty decent amount of mana. No, doesn't seem like there's anything else over there. So we'll assume that there is a third one around that corner. I will lull the greater skeleton, try to lull the mummy, which is quite risky. He's probably going to resist. And if he does, he'll pull whatever else is over there, which I'm hoping is only one other. If he does get lulled, I will sit my pet down, walk up there, and see what might be around that corner before I pull anything, which is what I should have done with that other mob. Okay, let's do this. Whew, alright, that one worked. And that one seemed to work, but we'll find out here in a second. Okay, so that was... Greater Skeleton hit me. Yeah, so that's gonna be... It's gonna be something here. Let's get some life. Let's heat blood the crap out of this. So I would have been better off just pulling back. Instead, I was trying to be safe, and I ended up doing something rather stupid. So I'm going to pay for it in mana. Let's go ahead and put Leech on the Greater Skeleton so we can get some life coming in. And my pet is about to die. So we're going to heal up my pet real quick. That's our mummy. That's our mummy's almost dead. I'm about to kill him. Greater Skeleton's still alive. This should work. God, that was messy. I apologize, guys. That was just badly done. That law really did not last long. I don't even want to sit over here. That's where we're going, into that room, but... Can I open it around the corner? Dreadbone in there somewhere. Alright, we're sitting down. Oh, it looked like there was something else there. Shadow Knight. Shadow Knight is up, so that is the mob we are going after. So now we just have to med back up to full. Let's see, gotta play the serve ticks even lulled if you stand there long enough. They're aggro. Yeah, I knew the lull wasn't going to be 100%, you know, like 20, 30 seconds, but even on my cleric, the lull is a good amount of time that I've seen tanks run in, even body pull a mob and pull back out without that kind of thing happening. In fact, that's exactly what I did earlier when I went through this door over here. I lulled those two mobs, came through, saw the third one, and pulled him. Had enough time to see him kind of come back in, go back out, and then pull him without that lull breaking. I think maybe it was just, he got resisted a little bit because of the level. Yeah, as you could see on the description there, said it was quite risky. And I believe he was the first one to break. And once he broke, the other one broke almost immediately after. So maybe I just have to take the risk sometimes and pull the mob and hope that there's only two there, or only one there. Because that could have been a lot easier. I think I would be still about 50% mana right now if I had only gotten one at a time instead of both of them. But I guess as long as you're careful and you have 100% mana before you get into the fight, it doesn't really seem like it's too tough. Like, my guy's able to take the hits rather well. Surprises me. Bloodline is medium threat. Poison is higher threat across all classes. You know, it is... but poison does seem to give me a little bit less on the threat just because of the damage it does. When I use heat blood, because of the damage it's doing right now, I think it's 17 a tick, it immediately, no matter what, if I cast that before he's like 20 or 30% down on life, that mob just does not seem to want to let me go. And I don't blame him. 17 a tick is pretty nasty. Like, I like the spell. It uses a lot more mana too. So if I hit him with something a little less, and I could be wrong, but I mean, just from my own experience right now, I'm willing to accept other people's ideas for the foreseeable future with this guy. But I hit him with Leech, which seems to do absolutely no damage whatsoever. It's almost like even not worth using. But I hit him with that, pulls the mob to me, and then I hit him with a Poison Bolt, and then I can sit back down and I never have to worry about the mob kind of ping-ponging back and forth between me and the pet. It's only, you know, on those big fights, I like to use that that blood boil, man. Because oh my god, the heat blood is epically damaging. Like without that spell, I don't think we would have survived that fight. Let's open the door. I want to kind of take a look. I want to con that Shadow Knight. Wow, the Shadow Knight's only green, really. So it must be... Both of them are green. So the Dreadbones is a safe opponent, and the Shadow Knight is I would probably win this fight, but it's not certain. Well, we're going to do it the safe way. I'm going to lull the Dreadbones, because that's the only one I can lull anyways. And we'll pull the Shadow Knight out to us, kill that guy, and then start working our way back out. Because that's going to give us the key that we need to work down to the 3rd floor, which could be very, very dangerous for us. I don't know if I'm high enough to do the 3rd floor. Right there at the entrance to the 3rd floor, when you go down the stairs, there's a doorway. And when you open up that doorway, I believe there's 3 Icebone skeletons sitting right there. And yeah, 3 Icebone skeletons, they're probably red to me. So we might get down there, click on them, find out they're red, and then have to work our way back up. But I'm willing to give it a shot and at least get the key. I'm going to get harm touched. Okay, so I need to make sure... Maybe we... I can't attack the skeleton first, because then we'll get the Shadow Knight for sure. But I need to, like, regenerate my life a little bit. You know what? I'll send the pet in. we'll lull. I'm going to open the door once we have enough mana, and I'll look around, make sure there's not more than just 2. But I think I'll send the pet in, let him take the harm touch. And thank you for reminding me about that. I completely forgot Shadow Knights and the harm touch. I'll let him do it. Hopefully he doesn't die in one hit, because it is green. And we should be good. I can at least heal him. Okay, let's look around. From what I can tell, it doesn't look like there's anything there, but it's hard to see that corner. Alright, let's lull this guy. And I believe if you fall, or if you step on that floor, you fall down, so we're not going to step on that panel. Alright, so she hasn't... If she did hit him with a harm touch, it was either resisted, which is very, very possible, or it was very, very low. Either way, I'm happy with those results. Let's take out this Dreadbone. Yeah, see, there he goes, falling into the floor. In fact, we're going to see if we can cut right by that. Let's back this guy up, because we would like to loot those bone chips if he drops any. And there we go. So we got the splintered wooden key, which is for the 1st floor. I already have that one, so we're going to leave that there for the matron that we got with us. Maybe she'd like to have that and come back to the zone someday. Let me put that in the right bag. Go ahead and link it right here. In fact, let me go ahead and loot it, and I'll give it to her. That way she doesn't have to wait for it to pop back up. And that's the end of this room right here. Nice. Alright. No bone chips. Alright, so let's start heading our way back out. We'll take a look at this door here too, just to kind of peek our head in. Lockpick in your inventory to do this. Wow, okay, so you have to have a lockpick to get in there and not a key? Let me try the keys. Ah, so the key does work. Greater skeleton in there. Let me sit down and bed up a little bit. There's an Ogre Shadow Knight who drops the Smoke Glass Key always and Barbed Arm Plates rare inside that area. So yeah, let's give that a shot. Let's see if maybe we can get some loot down here. I mean, the Barbed Arm Plates aren't super great, but you know, why not see if he's up? So there's a greater one there and a greater one there. Let's go ahead and lull. And we got you. Oh, great. Let's pull you back a little bit. There you go. Wow, he's actually kicking the crap out of my pet. What did it say about it? Looks quite risky, but would be worth a try. Okay, so he is a tough blue. Man, these guys are getting tough in here. She's scaring the crap out of me back there. Okay, so sit down, pet. Get your life back up. I'm so very, very surprised that that Shadow Knight was up. I was really expecting that we'd have to sit here for a while and wait for that to spawn again and again and again. I know the top floor one, man, it took me like 6 hours one day to get that guy to spawn. And that one's supposed to be like the easiest out of all of them, so... yeah, not always the case. And it looks like those guys have respawned. That's going to be tough right there, breaking that room again, because I can't see all the mobs I was able to see before. So coming in was one thing, going out is going to be quite another. Now I could gate out to the entrance. Unfortunately, I didn't bind here. I bound all the way over in Oasis. So we're gonna work our way out. We're gonna give it a shot, especially now that I know where the placement of the mobs are. Because I'm thinking if we pull that guy over there, let me close that down for a second. If we pull this guy over here, who happens to be a Necro this time with a pet, we do have one off to the left on the other side of this wall right here that will aggro with them. But I don't think anything else will. I think that's going to be the only mobs we get. So if he wasn't a Necro, I would be able to lull him and then pull that other guy. Unfortunately, there's no way I can lull these because, you know, his owner is going to be a pain. Or at least that's my reasoning behind it. Okay, so we're going to lull this guy again. Or not. Okay, back it up. Yeah, you can fight now. Get some life in there. We're going to hit him with a life draw. That might grab aggro, though. And my pet's not taking any damage off of this guy. Holy crap, this guy's super easy. It says it looks quite risky, but might be worth a try. And yet, he's just whooping this guy's butt. Whereas on the last one, he got his butt handed to him, so... I don't know what that means. Is he just like one level lower, maybe? Or the other guy was just an undercon? And I probably won't get too much experience off of this because I did not do 51%. Still wasn't that bad, actually. Yeah, let's take a look, guys. There you go. I was going to make sure you don't get caught out there. Okay, so in that room is a hallway, and at the end of that hallway to the right is the Shadow Knight Ogre that we're going after to see if he is up. I have no idea what's in that hallway, though. So there's a mummy. What is she con? There is a mummy that says, look quite risky, but might be worth a try. You know, I might try body pulling that rather than casting a spell on that mummy, just because I don't know how much aggro she's going to get on the other side of that doorway. Now, if I knew aggroing that guy would aggro everything in the room, I could lull that mummy and then just open the door and grab something, but who knows? Ken is the best pet I ever summoned. He's quite a beast looking. I like it. I like the ghoul. Is he the highest level? Is that what you're saying? He's cool looking though. Man. That's what they should have given the Necros, the ability to get like different graphic pets every so often and make them like all undead. A ghoul, Necro, you know, undead skeleton. Even some of the jack-o'-lanterns over from the scarecrows from Unrest would have been kind of cool to play around with. Zombies, yeah, or mummies, like all of that would have kind of played into that whole undead Necro thing. Now, right now, all they use are bone chips, but I'm thinking like with Pantheon, if they create a Necro class, they could go one step further, like bone chips for a skeleton. That makes sense. Bone chips and, you know, wrappings, you know, for bind wound, and bone chips. Those two together will create maybe a mummy. I don't know what you would use for ghoul. I mean, you would have to use like fresh bones with like pieces of meat still on them or something, probably. Seems it would be disgusting. Maybe the faster you harvest the bone chips. If you harvest bone chips with meat on them from like actual living creatures, maybe the meat eventually like, falls off and they just become regular bone chips. So like the fresher the kill is, the more likely you are to get something resembling an actual human or creature of sorts. Would be kind of a cool way they could integrate that in there. Alright, so I'm pretty close to full life, or full mana I should say. I'm never going to get to full life on this guy. Alright, we'll do a body pull, guys, and we'll see how this works. Alright, so we just got him. Pulling him into the room. There we go. Get in there. Wow, looking at the damage already. He took a little hit. So I'm gonna dot him up pretty well. 83%. My pet's taking some hits, yeah, so we're gonna have to get in there. Let me sit my pet down. There's no way. There's no way I could look in there. If I get closer than that, I'm going to get some aggro on that. So I'm going to sit here and med up a little bit. I'm going to be very, very cautious. I can hear somebody casting in there. Let's see. Vision says, I can't wait until they release more info on the other classes in Pantheon. I'm hesitant to get too hyped on it, but man, it looks great so far. You know, it's always risky to build up any game whatsoever because it's hard to meet the expectations of a movie or game that's been built up too much. The reason I kind of refer to Pantheon a lot is because the guy, the Doug McQuaid, or I think Brad McQuaid, something like, I forgot what his first name is, but he helped make Everquest, and then he helped do Vanguard. So he has one game that did really, really well, and one game that didn't do very well. So he knows what it's like personally to kind of fail. And he knows what it's like personally to succeed. And he can see the differences on what he did with one game company versus what he did with another one. Whether there was higher-ups or, you know, people who were telling him that he had to go this route and it ended up being disastrous and he gave in, or, you know, he had free range and he did his own thing. He has that experience behind him. So I have a little bit more faith in him being able to do it than maybe somebody who is completely and totally brand new to creating MMOs, like some of these companies that are getting into it. But there's no guarantee that it's going to be good. And I've seen some of the streams, and it looks like a good game. I hope that they continue on with that progress, and I hope they continue to, update it and actually maintain it, because I've seen a lot of games that get that initial influx of money by all that hype, and then they just stop, and that's as far along as that game will ever go, and it becomes a dead project. So, I'm cautiously optimistic, but we'll see. So there's 3 mobs in there: a mummy, an SK, and a necro. Brad, yeah, I think you're probably right, Brad McQuaid on that one. We are going to give this a look-see, as careful as possible. There's the Shadow Knight. So he is up. There's a lesser mummy there. So I can lull the mummy. Oh, but there's a necro over here on the side. So it's a green mummy. What is the necro con to me? He's green as well. You would probably win this fight. What's the Shadow Knight con to me? He's blue. It looks quite risky. So he's going to be the tough one to beat. So I'll lull the mummy. Hopefully that works. And then I'm going to get the Shadow Knight and pull him into the hallway. Yeah, I think that's going to be the only thing. I'll pull him in with a life touch because I'm actually kind of low. So my pet is back there. I think we're ready to do it. I think we're ready to give this a shot. Okay, so yeah, we got the Necro and we got the Shadow Knight. Shadow Knight's going down pretty quick. I'm just going to life draw off of the Shadow Knight and burn him down. There we go. Shadow Knight is dead. I'm letting the pet do his thing. This is cool. Holy crap, this scared the crap out of me. Okay. So he is going after the other one. I'm going to go ahead and leech some life. Actually, he's not killing this as fast as I thought he would. And the pet. I'm going to leech some life off of them. No, I guess I can't do it twice. Can you? Right? It's just once. I don't think you can have that buff on twice. No, no, what are you doing, dude? Kill the guy running. Gotta be kidding me. That pet is stupid. Gets it down to 2% and he switches over to the other one. I realize, like, in normal situations, that's exactly what I would want him to do. But in a situation where you're in a dungeon and, you know, that could definitely bring more mobs, you know, that's not what I want him to do. So we already have that sash. We're running out of space. I'm going to go ahead and forgo looting that thing. Alright, so we got all 3 keys. A charred bone key, smoke glass for the 3rd floor, and a splinter wooden key again. So let's go ahead and grab the smoke glass one. And we'll give the charred bone to our friend. So now she has 2 of them. Let's take a look in the room. Oh, so there's still the mummy. Still the mummy. Well, I got a little bit of mana, so let's go ahead and summon some life off of this mummy and send in our pet. And we'll make sure the entire room is clean. He's not doing too hot. Lull the SK, pull the Necro. Can you lull an SK? I don't know if I can with the undead spell that I have. I don't think that's a thing that I can do because they are like a living creature. They just work with the undead. Come on, stop fizzling. Feel that way about CU. Lol. Wonder what Richard Garrett is up to these days. Probably sipping wine in his castle. Richard who? Not not familiar with the guy. Probably should be, but so yeah, this is it's pretty cool. So we got through pretty much all the spaces. I don't think there's anything behind these rocks, right? No, just kind of a cool little hiding spot. Trying to stay away from somebody stalking you in the game. You want to go anonymous and come in here. I don't think anybody's gonna find you in that little area. Okay, so we are gonna met up right. Actually, let me check the hallway. No, let me back it up. I don't know if I can. Yeah, figured as much. So those both are back up again. So we got a mummy and a greater skeleton. Let me con those guys so I can see what I'm working with. Okay, so that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. So we got one greater skeleton that looks quite risky, and a lesser mummy that's green that says we will probably win this fight. So I will lull the lesser mummy and take on the greater skeleton when we are ready, and that should be fine. That should not be any trouble whatsoever, even if we get both of them. The Ultima creator? Yeah, I don't know what he would be doing. I mean, the game was great for its time, and a lot of people loved it. I think it's very simplistic compared to the games that are out now. So if he stayed up to date on programming and all that other kind of stuff, he might still be able to create something fantastic. Then again, he may have made so much money from Ultima Online, like you said, he's just kind of sipping wine in his castle and having a good old time. I've seen people out there, though, you really see whether they have a passion for what they do or not, is if they become successful, if they make tons of money and they become rich to the point where you pretty much just sit back and relax, and they keep making stuff. Like, then you know they're doing it because they actually passionately love what they do. Or they're super greedy, but, I mean, you can kind of tell the difference between the two. He's doing Shroud of Avatar. Tried it a bit, but has some issues. I did see some of those videos of the Shroud of Avatar. It looked interesting. The one thing that I kind of saw from watching a lot of the videos on it is it did seem kind of almost inclusive. Like there's a community on there that has given a lot of money to getting that game published, and they feel entitled to a lot of stuff. And the game company, for right or wrong, is giving them a lot of stuff because they have donated money. And I can't blame them from doing that. You're rewarding people who are supporting you, but at the same time, you're making it very, very hard for other players who are coming in late or didn't support you to feel accepted into a community that kind of seems a little hateful for new players coming in. Or at least that's, you know, some of the impressions a lot of the people who have made videos have of it. But I couldn't speak on it because I haven't played it myself. But I hope that's, you know, when they finally get it up and running and they do a wipe of the server or create another server for people who are just joining after it all gets worked out, you know, it feels more open to everybody out there. Didn't he go to space? Who doesn't want to go to space? If I had the money, I'd go to space. That'd be amazing. I wish we were further along in space. I wish we could actually go somewhere rather than just, like, go into space, but I'll take what I can get. So I ended up getting both. That that guy resists quite a bit. Guess that lull did not take on the green. Let's get in here. Come on, Vasculin. There you go. Is he hitting me? What's hitting me over here? Oh my god, we got room pop. Alright, work the problem. Greater Skeleton. We're gonna do Heat Blood on you. Lesser Mummy. We're gonna siphon some life off of you. And that's it. That's all the mana I got. So if we can get this Lesser Mummy down, we got Heat Blood on the Greater Skeleton. We're about to get another room pop. But we'll see how this works. I don't know if Heat Blood's gonna be enough. I have to back up and let my pet do some damage. We'll met up a little bit. We'll see how well my pet fares, but we'll met up a little bit and see if we can get a dot off. It looks like he's gonna win. 25, 22. And we'll back up into a corner. Or actually, we'll go out in the hallway. He might die. %. There we go. Holy crap. So, yeah, don't panic, guys. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Let's get up here. Get the crap out of that room. Okay, sit down, pet. Alright, so we're good. We're gonna head to bed. Must sleep now. No safety net. Alright, Octa. Thank you for coming out. I definitely appreciate it. It's been fun hanging out with you. And you did save my life earlier, so yeah, I definitely appreciate all the help that you've given me. But this is where it's gonna get tricky. Now I'm on my own. Now I don't have that safety net. She's actually biting a wound on me, so my life goes up. She might have been doing that this whole time, and I just now noticed. But the good thing is we do not have rabies anymore, so my life should stay about normal. And if I take off my death pack, dark pack, then my life should go up a little bit at least. So this is gonna be fun. You know what I might end up doing is, what would I take off? I use all my spells. I don't know if I want to take anything off. She gave me a damage shield. Shield of the lava. Alright, so that will make things a little easier when I pull that guy. Although it's going to be a bit. I'm going to wait for full. Adios. Alright, take it easy. And again, thank you so much for coming out. It was really nice to have you here. And like she said, it was the first time she's ever been in this zone. So hopefully she had some fun. She got to explore most of it. This is the second floor. We will try to stick our nose into the third floor, although ideally at this level I think the second floor would probably be pretty good. I mean, we've already gotten 2 bubbles down here. That's not bad. Would have been more if we had picked a spot and just kind of stayed there and wait for repops. I think we'd been able to kill a little faster, maybe even worked a small little area in which we killed maybe a room or 2, and yeah, if we had that rhythm going, we'd be on almost a constant kill basis and not having to do these meds because we're constantly breaking rooms as bad as we are. Mezzing I think would really help in a situation like this. So one more level we get Feign Death. Do I get Mez at one more level? Let me look. Necro spells. Level 16. I get Restless Bones, which is a Skeleton Warrior, level 14 to 16. I get Heart Flutter. That's going to be nice. That's a disease over time, or dot over time, muscle disease. Deals 12 damage per tick for 6 ticks. Also debuffs AC and strength, so my pet will hit a little bit harder, and the enemies will hit my pet a little bit less. Infectious Clouds, which is a disease over time, which is going to be an upgrade to the Disease Cloud spell that I already have that doesn't do jack. This one deals 20 direct damage at first, plus 5 damage per tick for 21 ticks. So that thing will last for a very long time. And 5 damage per tick is not bad. I don't know if I like that direct damage right off the bat, though. That could be kind of messy. Banshee Aura. Shield on the caster that deals 9 to 12 damage to attackers. So I actually get a damage shield. Shield on the caster. So it goes on to me. That could be kind of cool. Especially when I jump in there to kind of tank for my pet a little bit. Let me put the Dark Pack on. I think mana is more important than even amount of life. Let's see, what else do we get? We get Shield Skin at level 16, which is a buff for target. So I might be able to increase the target's armor by 11 to 13. So I'll be able to use that maybe on my pet. No, that's Spirit Armor. Shield Skin absorbs 27 to 55 damage, consumes a cat eye to gate. That I will definitely be using a lot. And that's a self buff only. That Shield Skin absorbs 27 to 55 damage. And I don't think Cat's Eye Gate is really that expensive. Spirit Armor, that's the target's armor by 11 to 13. I'll get Cure Disease, finally. I won't have to worry. I'm glad they give that to Necros. I wasn't sure if that would be a thing. I get Hungry Earth, which is a debuff. Roots target undead to the ground. So I get a root for undead. It also deals 26 to 75 points of damage and lasts for 8 ticks. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. 75. Crap. I get Feigned Death. Yes, finally. Voice Graft allows the caster to speak through their summoned minion. I might have a little bit of fun with that. And Cancel Magic dispels the magic effect on the target, so if they have a damage shield or something. Wow, I get a lot of really good spells at level 16. And we're not too far, guys. We're not too far. 3 bubbles. I might get that today. Let's see. All right, 90%. 90%. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till 100, like, you know, because I'm thinking I'm only going to get 2. I'm gonna get the Necro with his pet, and then I'm gonna get the guy to the left. But I could be wrong, and I could get 3. And if I get 3, I think I'm pretty much dead. So we'll put Dark Pack up before the fight. We'll refresh it. I'm gonna take it off, and I'll put Gate up just in case things go bad. Although I'm hoping not to use it. I don't want to gate out of this area, but I think that might be a necessity. There we go. There's gate. Let's get that out of the way. Alright, so my guy's sitting down. I'm going to come up here and do a body pull. There we go. So I got him all by himself with a body pull. Like that a lot. Thank you. Actually, no, we're going to hold off on that because he's almost dead. That is not what I wanted to do. Stop getting rid of my spells. Let's get up here. Pet's almost dead. Okay, so I was worried a little bit about nothing. Let's get that guy to sit down. Can I see anything? I do see a Necro around the corner over there. I can't quite click on him because my pet's in the way, so I'm going to move my pet real quick. Follow. Sit down. Still can't quite click on him. There we go. Okay, so he is blue. Looks quite risky. And that's the pet. The pet is blue, which means he's definitely blue as well. There is a large skeleton over there that looks you know, reasonably safe, but he's green. There is another one here in this corner too. There's definitely one right there on the left. No? Yeah, he is. There he is. Kind of see him a little bit. Let's go ahead and see if we can law him. No, that's it. That's all that's right there. So I am gonna pull this one with a body pull as soon as that law wears off. So let's go ahead and see how long that law actually lasts this time. It's gonna last a really long time because I don't want it to. What's up, man? How you doing? Come on, attack me. You know you want to. All right, let's back it up a little bit. I need to get that dark pack back up. Seriously? There we go. We're just gonna beat you in the face with a bowl. Man, my pet's already up here. Well, okay. Let's get some life off of this guy. We have plenty of mana, so I'm gonna use Leech, and then I'm gonna hit him with a life draw, and I'm gonna let the pet do the rest. Seems to be working. Let's see. Experience message. We're going to move the experience message back over here because I can never tell. There's not enough variation over here for me to see once it fills up all the way. 82%. Okay, so one thing that we did see last time, let's sit our pet down. One thing that we did see last time is when I pulled that large skeleton right there, we got for sure everything on the other side of that. And I believe it's only a Necro. He's green. So we will hopefully be able to lull him, pull the Necro over to us, which is blue, so we're going to get some experience out of that. And hopefully that lull lasts more than 10 seconds. Okay, here we go, guys. Here we go. Nice. That worked out perfect. Okay, so he's in there. Let's go ahead and heat blood. And they're kicking the crap out of my pet, so let's get in. Let's chill, let the pet do the rest. And I'm very, very glad, and I'm trying not to jinx myself by saying anything, but I'm very, very glad that none of these mobs seem to run when they get low on life, because I have not been using Dooming Darkness. I've not even using my snare. So we still have that large skeleton we got to worry about. What is here? Seems like I was running over something. I am the only one in the zone. I own Befallen, guys. Can't say I have mastered this area yet, but I think I've learned quite well some of the rooms. In fact, let's take a look at the next room before we pull that one green. Yeah, I'm not in the right angle. I think there was only one in there to begin with, right? Yeah, you definitely could see the name right there. A lesser mummy who is blue, and it says look quite risky. So there's one in there that's going to be a problem. Or a challenge, anyways. Pet is almost full life. We'll have him kill that green, and actually I don't need to siphon any life off of that guy. Wow, the difference between having rabies on and not having rabies on is full life versus about 50%. Go in, pet. Do your thing. So I went ahead and got rid of my gate. Yeah, I put it up as a safety net. I think we're good. I think we're good now. This is the only room that I was really kind of worried about. And it's easier to break out of than it is to break in. But again, I think that's going to come down ultimately to the mobs that are in here. If you have a few Necros in here and they're higher level, because I think there is a variance of what they can spawn. Thankfully, I had greens, and when I pulled the green, I didn't get any extra ads. But if they had been blue or even, I probably would have got the ad to the left when I pulled that Necro. And that could have spelled doom. So sit down, pet. I'm going to take a look around real quick. Now there's a room over there. It does have some mobs I could kill for experience. But we're going to leave that alone. There's nothing that actually spawns in there. And we're trying to get our way down to the second floor or third floor. So that guy's blue as well. Alright, let's get up to full mana. Full mana and full pet. That way if we get 2 blues, we can still do it. And I think I'm going to be outfitting this guy later today. Maybe upgrade some of his really crappy pieces. Maybe not. I mean, it's up to you guys. What do you think? Should I upgrade him? Do you want to see this guy twinked out, going through zones, and maybe more challenging zones than I should be taking on? Or would you like to see more of a non-twinked out Necro trying to take places on that probably, you know, it would just kind of crazy to do. Digging 39 on my mage. Ah, congrats, man. 39 is right there before another hell level, but really nice because now it kind of opens up doorways for you to go to some of the more tougher zones. Man, level 39 fire pet is a boss. It sells blues at my mage level, so I don't even have to chain pets. Level 39 to 44 are probably going to be easy street. Heck yeah, I would love to see a twinked out Necro doing crazy stuff. Do it big. Alright, well, we'll take a look and see if maybe I can tweak him out. I got a lot of stuff on my wizard I'm not using. Let's see. Okay, so I got full mana. Let's refresh a Dark Pact. Let's open that door again. And we'll see if we get resisted here. Yep, we got resisted. But we only got 1. Holy crap. That surprises me. Actually, he's not doing too much damage to my pet either. Huh. Says it looks quite risky. That again, that's really misconception on the looks quite risky, because I've gotten both. I've gotten the ones that say looks quite risky and they wipe the floor with my pet, and then the ones that say look quite risky and they do almost no damage. Your pet's weapon is, or your pet's will is insufficient. Oh, so the mage pet's weapons that they've given me are proccing, or should be proccing, but they're not because he's a little too low for it. So since that guy was so easy, I'm pretty sure the next guy won't be. So let's wait and let his life go up. I don't need the mana, but he does. He needs the life. I want to level and Necro myself once I sell my shield. I'm going to twink it out with Zelandi's Heart, a pre-nerfed COS, and other good stuff when I get the money I need. What level does a COS? Because I know the one with shadows on it, with the S, is not pre-nerfed, and I believe you can cast that around level 20-something. And I have that on my Shadow Knight. I think it's like 800 plat. It's kind of cheap to get. The pre-nerfed one, I believe, is going for about 10k. That's, you know, outside my price range. But definitely, if I can do the COS beforehand, that'd be kind of nice. Okay, so we're just gonna barrel into that room with the. Get him off of me. Now this guy, I am gonna let my pet tank as much as possible. If I have to blast him, I will, but I do not want to get rabies again. But I might. He might come after me here in a second. Come Come on, pet. You know you can do it. 61%. I'm going to heal him up just in case, because I don't want to get in there. Freaking mummies. I think it clicks at 25. I'd have to check. Never mind. It clicks at 20. Yeah, so I could have swore it was around level 20-something, but yeah, I could go ahead and get another one. 800 plat's not beyond the realm of possibility for me to be able to afford for this guy. And it's really, really nice. I mean, it's not as good as the pre-nerfed one, but definitely would come in handy. All right, sit down, my friend. You deserve a rest. We're going to look at the floor, apparently. Okay, let's see what's through that door. Alright, so we got a Necro we can't do anything about. We'll have to take him. We got a large skeleton we can do something about. And I believe there is one other in there, if I remember correctly. However, you can kind of see that they are starting to turn green at this point, because we're getting further and further closer to floor 1, because of the way you have to travel through the zone. Okay, so wow, look at that. I am 1, 2, 3, 4 of these brown squares away from the door, and he still saw me when I sat down. That's a little less than halfway. Like, this is the halfway mark in the room, and he was able to see that. So maybe not a good spot. Maybe not a good spot to be sitting. Go for it, Pat. Kick his butt. Okay, so at least one. If I was being careful, I should lull this guy, but I think we can take on. Get the mummy. Get the mummy. There you go. You got the right one. I'll kill this large skeleton. It's funny how my guy's actually working on his one-handed. Is it one-handed blunt or one-handed slashing? Should be one-handed blunt, right? Yeah, one-handed blunt. Meanwhile, my cleric hasn't used his weapon. Not that he's wearing one at the moment, but he hasn't used a weapon since like level 4. So his skill is abysmal. I think my shadow knight, or not my shadow, my Necro is gonna have a higher skill level in weaponry than a cleric. We're gonna have to heal up my pet. You'd think the zone would be good for bone chips, but I'm really not getting too many of them. Alright, pet, sit down. Rest a little. Oh, man. So close, guys. So close to getting to the 3rd floor and getting our butts completely and totally wiped. I've gone down there with level 20-somethings and not had a good day. In fact, there's a lot of things down there that are not undead. And I think they do that on purpose because they realize that if you're not sure about what you're doing, you can fall down there fairly easily in that well. And they want to punish you. They want to punish you so bad. But thankfully, I don't know if it was the same on live, but on P99, there is no limit to the pulling of the corpses on the, what is the Y-axis or whatever. If you're pulling up or down, there's no limitation. I believe there was on live, which is why you couldn't pull your corpse out of the well. You actually had to go down into it and drag it up the stairs and get people to either open it up with a key or drag it through the doorway when you died and you came back out the other side. So I don't know if they're ever going to fix that on live, or I mean on P99, or maybe I'm just remembering that wrong. But I don't believe you could ever drag it up the well. Okay, so he's good. Let's take a look. Plague rat, yeah, that's gonna be fine. Dread bones. Green, what about you? screen as well. Okay, let me look around the corner. There's the dread bones over there. And there is a little tiny room right over here. You can see the doorway to it right there. There's not much in there. There's a little bit of experience. If you're pulling, this is a good spot for a group. Right there where that dread bone is that I'm targeting over there in the distance. They usually sit down there and they kind of pull both sides of this area and camp this beginner spot as a group. So let's sit down a little bit. Now, the stairway, if I remember correctly, is just right around that corner. Yeah, and the start of all our doom. I do not have a lot of faith in what's to come. That third floor. Ugh. I never liked that third floor. There's some pretty good loot down there, though, if you can get down into a certain area. If we can get down into the jail, I think that's where we'll stay a little bit. I won't search too much in that journal area, because yeah, it's gonna be hard to break. There's some undead skeletons next to the Shadow Knight that drops all the keys. I think it's like 3 skeletons and then the Shadow Knight, and if he doesn't spawn, it's a 4th skeleton. So that's, yeah, if my laws don't work, 4 high-level skeletons on my butt. See, lesser mummy. Looks quite risky. Alright, so let's sit our skeleton down. Wait until he's full life. Now, this one doesn't actually take the key. Not yet. Not until you get down to the bottom of those stairs. And that's another one of those kind of turning points. Because I believe there's 3 icebone skeletons on the other side of that that door. So I'm going to have to click the door with the key, then lull, and then keep opening the door back and forth, and hopefully not get instant aggro as soon as I open that thing. Okay, I think we're good. So I didn't even want to take a little tiny hit off of that guy. I'm going to let my pet do all of that. I'm going to go ahead and heal him up. Dot him up. So I do use a little bit more mana on those mummy fights. But I'm not risking rabies again. Not until I get to 16, I can actually take them off. So greater skeletons right there. Let's sit down. Med up. Actually, I need to put that dark pack back on. The greatest spell that any of you guys have ever told me about is dark pack. Ready to attack looks kind of dangerous. Ready to attack looks quite risky. So the one on the left, I'm assuming, is lower level than the one that says it looks quite risky. And he does look a little shorter, or it could just be my perspective, but he does look a little shorter than the skeleton on the right. So I think they are based off of height when it comes to skeletons. Yeah, again, it could still be just perception, but we're going to wait until we're about 80% mana. I think I could take both of those guys on if I had to burn them down at 80%. But I'm hoping to be able to lull at least one. And I'm hoping not to get what's on the other side of the door. Now, we're going to take the one on the right first, because I don't want to pull past that doorway if I can afford not to. So, 80%. We'll go to, yeah, 81. 81's good. Let's lull the lower level one. And I got both of them. Alright. I should have been looking. It actually said he resisted Numb the Dead. but I wasn't paying attention. Oh, nice. He cast it on me. Yeah, he got the thing for me. Me and him got a thing going on. Sister got heat blood on him. Let's go ahead and put poison bolts. Poison bolt and heat blood plus my pet. Come on, get him down. 13%. Alright, so that wasn't just like every bit of my mana there. Okay, so we're gonna med. I was gonna be like, let's go down there and take a look through the door. No, we're not doing that. We're gonna med. Make sure. Now it is kind of creepy. A lot of what's down there. There's some chains hanging from the ceiling. There's body parts on the chains. A lot of them were like dwarf parts. I don't know what the skeletons have against dwarves, but they went a very far way to get them because, yeah, like what's the closest place that has dwarves? Kaladin, right? All the way over in Butcher Block. Though I do know that there's a lot of dwarf parts in Nagina, inside the dungeon over there. Not sure again why they hate dwarves so much, but definitely undead places tend to hang body parts of adventurers who haven't been as lucky as some of the other ones out there. Let's see, how much mana do I have? I already have 646 mana. That's not too bad as far as a total goes. I do see how if I had a little bit more, I might be able to take on 3 mobs at the same time instead of just 2. But that again is really kind of pushing it because I don't know if I could take the damage from that. Now there is a robe out there that I have seen that necromancers are able to use that actually has haste on it. It actually has 36% haste on the robe, and that's the one that Nybris gives to his pets, so that the pets will have that haste. I think the robe isn't all that super expensive. I know Cypher Deck got one. I believe it dropped in Seb. I have to look and see what the going prices on that robe is, but I don't really think I need haste, but it has pretty good stats. Froglet Bonecaster robe is pretty good. It sells for about $1,000. So the other one had like 10 intel and 50 mana, so slightly better in that regard. This one has magic and fire resist. Strength I don't need. The AC though, AC is actually kind of coming in handy. Tanking for my pet instead of letting him do the job. Let's go ahead and get Dark Pack back up. This is really cool though because I've been in spots where there's just nobody available to group with. And you sit there for an hour or so at the entrance to Mistmore waiting for a group to kind of materialize, and it never does, and you feel like you wasted all that time. And I guess you kind of have, but it is part of that zone, just, you know, waiting for your turn to get into it. And I believe it helps the zone out in the long run to have, you know, people there to kind of pull in whenever a spot opens up. But if you could switch over and do a little bit of soloing with the same character, like this guy makes grouping really easy because he has his mezzing. He can actually transfer mana from his character to the rest of the group, and then for him to have this aspect of the game to actually be able to go off and maybe even in the exact same zone where he's waiting for a group to be able to do this. Yeah, it kind of opened up the possibilities. Like you're really never really standing still doing nothing because you have that that functionality, that traits and spells to go off on whatever mob you deem, you know, worthy of dying. Oh man, I'm already about halfway through this level. One more level, guys. One more level, and then I think we might go to Ocean of Tears and try out some of the mobs over there. Somewhere different, somewhere we haven't been before. Okay, 64%. We're gonna wait. It's hard because I know I want to take on down there. But as soon as I open up that door, it's gonna be all about how can I pull that. You know, I want to lull that stuff. So I guess it's better for me not to know exactly 100% what's down there. But I have a really good idea. So we'll chill. We'll relax. This is the time where you can go off and make a sandwich or something really quick and come back and find your character dead. Unless you feign or invis, but at least with feign, I guess you don't lose your pet, but invis, you probably do. Somebody told me once that you could actually invis your pet, but I don't think that's a thing. I think if you invis your pet, you might be able to, but then if you're invis, it would die. So it must be, if it works, you can invis your pet so that you don't get ads from greenies that you would normally get ads from. But I'll have to try that one day when I don't care if my pet dies. I don't want to risk it on this guy. %. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so I think that's good enough to kind of look around. We don't have dark pack up anyways, so let's do this. Let's set our pet up there. Okay, so there's an elf skeleton there. I believe he's actually used for something. Oh my god, he's red. Yeah, that's about as far as we can go down there. I'm not taking on a red. I told you guys that was going to be rough, so that sucks. Okay, well, we'll come back. We'll come back. We're going to get a little bit of experience. We're going to see if we can go kill some of those areas over there. Let's check into here. I get a zombie in there. Green. I'm gonna worry. Actually, let's kill him. Let's look around in there. Ah, and there's a skeleton too. Okay, so let's. Ah, and he's blue. Nice. Let's take the skeleton off of my pet. Let's go ahead and heal my pet up, which seems like he might actually die here. So that might be green, but it's on the verge of giving experience, probably. Let's go ahead and get some life off of this guy. There we go. Worn great stat. I think that's a little bit better than rusty weapons as far as money goes. It's definitely better than human blood. So we're gonna get rid of that kind of garbage. Let's sit down in mid. We need any keys from here on out. Where's my pet? There you are. Alright, let's start working our way back in. We just need to get to these two rooms over here. These guys have not respawned yet. That's a good sign. Hopefully these guys have not respawned. One of them is anyways. Sit my pet down. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one with a lull. Grab this one. There we go. What's he con? Green? Let's see how well my pet handles him. Yeah, he's doing okay. It's at 66%. My pet's still at like 95, 96. Actually, he's going up. And then, of course, the room spawns right on top of him, so now he's going to have to do multiples. But that's alright. I would rather get a green respawn on me while I'm fighting a green, and that gave me experience. I'd rather get a green respawn and not have that blue in there on me at the same time. At least now I know I can move in immediately. Wow, is he still lulled? Wow, okay, so lull actually lasts for a decent amount of time when it lasts. When it doesn't, it's a very, 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 very short spell, which we saw in that hallway over there, how really nasty that could be if you go down there and just kind of take a look around. I'm kind of curious of just to sit here and see how long it takes before he comes in and attacks me. Unless you're able to skirt by him. But my pet isn't like he skirts. He comes into a room, he turns really hard and makes a 90-degree turn. And yeah, like he would have saw that guy. And I think I'm close enough to him that he could still see me sitting over here. So he has to be lulled still. I would assume. But it doesn't look like it, so we're sending that guy in. Let's get some life going. And we'll get I think heat blood on this guy. Because my pet is taking a little yeah, my pet's taking some damage. We'll get it there. So guys, I think we've seen most of the zone that we're going to get to see. That guy's red. The best thing I could do is I could level up over here for a little while, get the new set of spells, and then we can come back down at 16 and see if he is maybe yellow. Because if he's yellow, I think he's doable, especially with the new set of spells. I get 2 or 3 new dots and a new pet. So even yellow will be perfectly fine. Law rock. Can I use those? No, I can't. That sucks. So we got a Necro there. Another Necro over there. What level are the Necros? So they're blue Necros. Yeah, but guys, I think we're going to go ahead and end the episode here. I don't know if we'll start back up in a little while. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. I'll do a little bit of grinding along the route, and if we can get to 16, I'll do a video, or I'll do some streaming of that while I go get my spells and show off some of my new dots on some of the mobs out there. I definitely want to thank all you guys for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed the new series of me soloing with my Necromancer. It's definitely interesting. I like it. I think we'll probably be doing a little bit more of it from time to time. There's still going to be tons of videos of me and the guys, but you know, when it doesn't work out and they're not on, this is probably what I'll end up doing. So, thanks again, guys. As always, I'm AC Gamer. Till next time. Thanks, Vision. Yeah, I'll definitely be playing this guy more.